All right, Otakuans, what's going on, y'all?
What's
Welcome back
up?
to another beautiful episode today. I got a bone to pick today, but we gonna get to that. I got a bone to pick today. Yeah, it's just
Why you stay beefing with anime?
I just beefing. I'm beefing with Netflix. That's what I'm beefing with. I'm beefing with
Netflix got the bone.
Netflix.
Okay.
Like look how they massacred my boy. Like my done. I can't fucking do it. But either
Mm.
way, like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring notification bells down below so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And of course, as always, we are gonna hop into the news really quick. There's not a ton of news, but there's some pretty decent ones out there. So we're gonna roll right into that, and then I'm gonna bitch for the next hour. I'm just kidding.
Please no.
I'm gonna 45 minutes.
30, 45.
Megan. All right, so the first one. So a Halo TV series, the one that everybody fucking hated, I
Mm.
did not, has been picked up by Netflix, and fans are hoping for a season three. Which I'm assuming, like, don't be an idiot. If Netflix picked up the show, they're probably gonna continue the show. They
Clearly.
paid for it, so they're gonna continue it. I'm excited. I know a lot of fans did not like the Halo series because it's not like a video game.
It's not
Like,
canon accurate.
shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Just like I bitched about Resident Evil. I loved the Resident Evil show, but it's
Mm.
not like the video games. The video games aren't like the video games. What the fuck are you talking about? There's so many different
They
universes
literally
in each one
change
of
in
those games.
video games. It
Like,
doesn't matter.
bro, just you're mad because a black female is the protagonist. Just say that.
Isn't that the
Just say that.
same thing they complaining about? What is it, Last of Us show? I think they
Hmm.
were actually saying they don't want the Last of Us show to be like the video games. They were asking for something
Yeah.
like that.
So in the beginning, which is hilarious. I mean, we just know fandoms. This will never change until the rapture, I guess. But um in the beginning, before The Last of Us came out, majority of the fans were like, "We want a good storyline that's like the video games, but we want it to be organic.
Mm.
Like, we don't want it to be exactly like the video games." And then they made that, and then they started bitching about it, and then now there's a lot of hate for one because of Ellie, and there's a lot of hate for Pedro Pascal who plays uh um Joe, not Joe. Uh, I forgot his name. Oh my god! But the male main character in The Last of Us, and
Mm.
people are like bitching about this season now, and I'm like, y'all wanted it to be organic. You can't make an organic show without going away from the game a little bit because you have to put filler. You can't just do cutscene to the next cutscene to the next cutscene. Like, you have to
Yeah.
smoothly transit. It's fucking retarded. Anyways, um, Halo is the same. I liked Halo. I like the actor that plays Halo. I love most of his movies. I know it's not like Master Chief never takes off his helmet and this and that. I'm like, they're humanizing him. Yeah, like a lot of people in the video game were saying, Master Chief doesn't take off his helmet, and like he doesn't have these emotions and this and that. I'm like, yo, who fucking cares? Like,
They're trying to
they're
get some
making
character development going
they're
on.
humanizing him. Like, if we had a dude in a helmet, like, that's one of the reasons why they did the Mandalorian like that.
Mm.
Is like they had him take his helmet off a couple times just to, one, because the actor need to get fucking paid. If his face is never on the screen, like, he not gonna get paid. I'd be the same way if I had to play
They could
Halo.
literally just put
Fucking,
anybody in if he's
they
never
could
going to take
put
his
they could
helmet off.
James Earl Jones. Like, there's a story about it. James Earl Jones didn't get paid a lot for playing Darth Vader because he wasn't the one in the suit. He
Mm.
just voiced him. And the dude in the suit also didn't get paid a lot because all he did was walk around in the suit. You never saw his face until Luke cut it off. And I think he said in one individual scene of Luke beating him and his face being open and dying in Luke's arm was the most he got in an individual. Like, because it showed his face. Because your face is what, like, makes you money.
Mm.
Like, yes, your acting skills and this and that, cool, but like, it's really your face.
Nah, his voice is what made that role. Like we got to be real. Like Darth
No,
Vader.
I'm saying in general, in
Well, yeah, in
regular
general,
cinema.
but he should have been paid because
Yeah.
his voice of Darth Vader goes down in history. So
Yeah,
that's
James
kind of
Earl,
messed up.
100%. Like, James Earl Jones was paid more than the actor in the suit, but he was saying
Mm.
because his face wasn't there, it was just his voice garbled by auto tune.
It should have
He
been
didn't get
more.
paid as much as like fucking Mark Hamill, who's was in the whole thing, face and all,
Yeah. Mm. I mean, I guess I can
you
see
know.
it, but nah. For that special case, he should have been paid with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
best of them.
absolutely, absolutely. So, but they're picking it up on Netflix. We'll see. I mean, we're not. We'll see. They're gonna continue. They bought it, so
Mm.
I mean, we'll get another season. Plus, if Netflix changes it up, because it was Paramount, they made their own story. So
Mm.
maybe Netflix makes their own story. Netflix be on a come up, even though I got beef with them right now. But like usually their live action shows like that, they do
They
well.
might make
So
it do really well. Third season might
yeah,
be the one.
yeah. So all right. So Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War animation director has been fired from Studio Pierrot
Hmm.
because of unknown reasons. And there's some quotes for him in there that said that there's nothing involved with his interaction with fans or anything crazy that all the other animators got going on.
You
He
believe that
said
though?
it. I don't believe shit from famous people. I
He
don't
got
believe anything.
fired before season four. Season four is
Yeah,
or core four is supposed to be the finale, and the
yeah,
main direct or producer got fired. That don't make sense.
yeah. That doesn't
He
make
did. He
money, in
had
my
to do
opinion.
something.
Yeah, I mean, and he said in his quotes, he thinks it was unexpected, but he thinks it's due to the lack of his ability. And I'm like, Core 4 is probably almost done. Like, what
Mm.
do you mean? There's nothing. They can't rehire a new director to fix it. It's probably already like if they had to scrub the entire thing or it wasn't even started yet, we wouldn't be getting Core 4 so soon. It'd be
Mm.
another year before we got it. So like, it's already done. So what do you mean? Like, I don't know.
Maybe there's more
Strikes me as
projects for Bleach coming in the future. You know, they got their the after,
maybe.
what's it called?
Maybe.
Epilogue.
I mean, he'll probably get his little residuals from it when it drops, but that boy fired, I guess. I mean, he ain't in jail, so I guess there's a cover up or he didn't do shit. We'll see. But all right, it's been 700 days since the anime Boruto has went on a break, and it should stay that way.
And
Moving
nobody's
on.
missing it at all. 700
moving
days.
on.
Is that? Is that not? It's not even 2 years yet. Damn.
365, yeah, almost 2 years though.
Damn.
Close.
R.I.P. Don't bring it back.
Yeah.
Don't
Hey,
bring it back.
hey, hey, leave it that way. Leave it in the dirt. All right, this one's kind of funny. It's a little. The animation panels for this are kind of graphic, but in the recent chapters of Baki that just dropped, Trump and Elon Musk appeared in them,
I saw those.
and yeah, it's little Baki's daddy.
He said, "I'm gonna fucking kill you."
He said more than that.
No, I know. Yeah, I read them, but nah, it's
They grabbed
this
their
is not the
heads. He
first
calls it.
time though. Like
Huh?
Baki is putting known people. I think they
Hmm.
had Ali son in there, or
Yeah,
Ali
that's
himself was in it.
yeah. They put both of them. Yeah, this
Mm-hmm.
isn't Baki makes a play on famous people. They do a lot of like really famous, like Oliver Olivier, the really big black dude who loves steak and wine in the prison or whatever in
Mm-hmm.
the anime. He was a very famous, like African American strongman, like a long time ago.
Really?
And so they put they put famous like people from history, from current events, all that stuff. That's kind of Baki's play, and then they kill him. So I
Very
don't know.
interesting.
I
Very.
don't know what to tell you. All right. Pokemon Go's developer Niantic is in talks right now to sell the business to I think it's Scopely. Scopely. So Niantic is a Saudi Arabian owned
Mm-hmm.
company apparently,
Yeah.
and they're talking about selling it to another Saudi Arabian owned company called Scopely. There wasn't really, I mean, they're just in talks. There's no reasoning behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, me and you are big Pokemon Go players, and I was just putting it in there because I mean, there might be some changes.
Mm-hmm. You know,
I don't know. They may
everything Pokemon, they like to keep that stuff close to wraps. So I'm proud that, not proud, but I'm surprised that
surprise, yeah.
Niantic even had Pokemon Go because, you know, the Pokemon Trading Company, they don't play. They took
No.
that shit a while ago. They're not letting go.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
they better stop changing hands before they take that too.
I don't know. It's either that or they're gonna shut the game down, which I doubt because it makes like it makes. So
Is it making
I was
money?
looking, yeah, I was looking up some facts and like so you get money based off users and then you
Mm-hmm.
also get money based off microtransactions and they're making millions. I mean,
I mean, it's
it's not.
Pokemon. You
Right,
throw
that's what I'm saying.
Pokemon on it,
So
it's
it'd
going
be
to make
dumb.
money.
It'd be dumb if they didn't. But I meant changes to the app itself. I don't know, maybe out slower, faster. Just be looking out for that if they do confirm this. I mean, multi-million dollar deals take time for them to conclude, so it won't be for a while. But
Mm.
we'll definitely keep our eye on that one. So we see if any changes are coming down the pipe. Batman versus Yakuza is finally getting a fucking U.S. release on March 18th.
They said
Yeah.
they're only coming out in Japan. You know Batman's American, right? Nah,
Hmm.
we don't care.
No, we don't give a
The
shit.
Yakuza
Yeah.
said it's only coming out in Japan. It's only coming out in Japan.
If Batman wins, then that's bullshit because he should have been here first. But whatever. Gotham City is New York. You know that, right? like,
That's why I came
like,
out of Japan only because
bro.
Batman about to take that first L in history.
Yeah, right. It drops March 18th. We watch this Batman just die. Just like, oh, okay. That's how. Tell us how you really feel, Japan. I don't know what to tell you, but March 18th it should be dropping. I'm obviously gonna watch that.
Definitely.
Um, so One Piece and Boston, the Boston Red Sox are doing a collab. This is, I believe, the second collab that they've ever done in history.
Mm,
They're gonna have a at the stadium. They're gonna have a like kind of One Piece person in costume walking around, One Piece figurines, signables, collectibles, things like that. They're just doing a big collab with One Piece for one of their games. I mean, I guess the second one I haven't heard of them doing any collabs at all
mm,
before. I guess it was a long time ago, but coming up to one of their games, they're going to be doing a big One Piece kind of collab deal thing going on. So if you're a baseball fan and a One Piece fan, I mean,
bro, it's
well,
not
you got to be
even.
a Red Sox fan.
I would
But
say that yeah, of course, if you're a Red Sox fan,
so,
indulge because they want to grab those fans. But One Piece, they do a lot of collabs
oh
with
yeah,
like sports teams. They did one with the not San Francisco, Los Angeles Rams, and
yeah.
where they were
I
like
saw
no
a
shit giving out like TCG exclusive promos
yeah.
for that. So
I saw videos of the last collab apparently people were lined up for the Red Sox game in
yeah,
in cosplay. And I'm like,
yeah.
damn, that's how you bring money to a stadium right there.
Especially since they give those exclusive promos out whenever they do these
Hmm.
collabs, like, and there are huge One Piece collectors. They are
Wait,
coming out in
let's
droves for
make a trip.
this.
Let's take a trip to Boston. I need a Boston Bruins hockey jersey. They're expensive online, but they're cheaper in Boston. So, all right, solo leveling officially. We've talked about it before, how it was one of the most watched on Crunchyroll, but officially the numbers dropped. It is the official most watched anime on Crunchyroll. Officially,
Most watched anime on Crunchyroll for 2024. Okay,
yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
yeah, yeah. And
Is it like
that's my
just
news.
season one or just like the whole series so far?
Season two is what
Well, season two just came out.
pushed it. Season two is what pushed it over the line, though.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Eh,
season two is what pushed it over the line.
so Level has been doing really well. I
Yeah,
mean,
new
they've been
episode.
cutting a lot of content. I've noticed, but they've just been doing
Yeah,
really well with what they are putting out there. The last episode, the final fight, oh, that was beautiful.
yeah. I gotta watch the new episode that just dropped
I figured
because
you
the
didn't watch
new
it. That's why I didn't ruin it.
the
It was
island,
good.
the Juju Island arc or whatever started this episode. The
Mm,
next arc started this episode.
the next arc started this. I mean, I guess
Hmm.
the end of the episode. I mean, the end of the arc was this episode, but they're starting the next arc. Yeah.
This whatever they're saying that this arc, the next arc, the one most anticipated, started this episode.
Mm.
So maybe they meant essentially because this one's ending, then it starts the next one because he
Yes, it's
leaves
starting up
into
the next
that.
one.
But yeah, whatever. Either way. But yeah. All right. That's my news. Ain't much, but it's
it's,
honest work.
it's,
It's honest work.
it ain't much, but it's honest work. Okay.
It's honest work. All right. So I want to talk to you about The Little Mermaid 3. Oh, I mean, sorry. I want to talk about Witcher, Sirens of the Deep.
I thought you wanted to talk
Sorry, my
about
bad.
Haley Bailey or whatever her name
No,
is.
no, no. I mean, so they might as well put her in this fucking role. So The Witcher, Sirens of the Deep. Obviously, we know that all dropped in. And to preface this beginning, spoiler alert, right? I'm gonna talk about the movie a little bit. If y'all haven't watched it, check out the movie or watch our show, but on like silent, and then go watch the movie just so we get to. Either way, but I want to talk about this show, this movie. The first thing I want to say is when it was um when it was advertised, because I saw the advertisements for it. They advertised it as a series first, and then they switched it to a movie, and I did not know that. So apparently, and I looked up some news articles like people were talking about on Reddit. Apparently, they advertised it as a series. It said Witchers of the Deep series,
Mm.
and then after a while, they just started when they kept doing advertisement, they changed it to movie. I didn't know that I saw the series advertisements, but I didn't see the movie advertisement. So when I went to go watch it and I saw it was an hour and 20 minutes long, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I wanted a series. Like I thought we were doing an animated series because that's what we were told we were getting.
I
So,
didn't even realize because I'm pretty sure I saw that it was a series at first too. So I was a little
mhm.
surprised. Like I thought this was a TV show, but whatever.
All right. So let me get into this money grab that is Little Mermaid 3.
All right.
So, all right, so Witcher Sirens of the Deep, for those of y'all who don't know, the Witcher series is obviously a big series from the video games, very Skyrim-esque. Obviously, we had one of the most famous things that ever happened in the Witcher franchise, which was the TV show that came out with Henry Cavill. As we all know, Henry Cavill decided to remove himself from the show because they were not following canon lines. Henry Cavill, if you don't know, I mean, I don't know him personally, but from what I follow on Instagram, from what he said on on interviews, he's a very big nerd. He loves Warhammer. He loves The Witcher. He loves Skyrim. He loves like like um, what's it called? Elden Ring. Like all those very nerdy things he loves. And so because they were not following the storyline that he didn't like, he decided to remove himself from it. They were obviously planning season 4. They finished season 3 with him, and we weren't getting a lot of information on what the next Witcher project was supposed to be. And then randomly dropped Witcher Sirens of the Deep. And we were like, oh shit, okay, well, we're getting a series on that. Cool. And then I told you about what happened, and now it's a movie. So, Witcher Sirens of the Deep is about Geralt, our residential Witcher, and his bard. And they're essentially in a town where they are hunting monsters. And I'm using air quotes for a reason. They are hunting monsters, and they end up finding out that the monster that they're hunting or that they were hired to hunt isn't the monster that's hurting. That monster is just hungry, just wants to eat, but hasn't actually killed anybody
Mm,
recently because of the sirens or mermaids, whatever you want to call them, down below have told him this. Once he followed the creature, he was fighting the creature took him down to the underground, fucking mermaid palace or whatever it is. Not even the palace, really just an underground pool. And he saw some mermaids there. They said this monster hasn't hurt anybody. He's just trying to eat. Found that out. Didn't kill the monster. Um, Coming to find out that the kingdom that he's in right now is actually on the brink of war with the sirens, with the people of that kingdom, because of the love interest. Well, not necessarily because of, but just because they're another kingdom. Think of DC World. Remember, I think it was Rise of Atlantis was the movie, the DC animated movie where Atlantis rose up and like tried to kill like the people on Earth, and then Superman had to help Aquaman
yeah.
stop them or something. It's like Rise of Atlantis, something like that. Think of essentially like that. And the only thing holding them back is the fact that the king of the human kingdom, his son, loves one of the mermaids, or one of the mermaids, which is the princess of fucking King Trident. From he loves the Little Mermaid, and so because of their love interest, they haven't really gone to war yet. It's teetering. It's on the fence,
Yeah.
right? And the Witcher ends up finding this out. He goes to the court because they're having a giant like feast. They're having like a festival. A princess from another kingdom, a human kingdom, is supposed to come and introduce herself to him. In hopes that the king would talk his son into marrying that human princess. Well, they're then talking about the Siren Kingdom and this and that, and then we come to find out that there's a ship out on the ocean. They're doing like fishing, things like that. They get attacked by I wouldn't even know like how to reference them, but they're essentially like fish people. They're
Mm,
Think of them like mermaids, but the other half. They got the human legs, but the fish top, essentially. And
yeah.
they end up attacking and killing all these. What we think they attack and kill all these, all these fishermen. Fisherman comes in and he says in the middle of the feast, "Hey, we got attacked. Mermaid people. We need to kill them." The King's Guard guy says, "Hey," everybody's like, "No, we shouldn't do that." People are like, "Yes, we should." The whole court is cut in half. The King's Guard guy, which I thought was a dick at first, I'm glad he turned out not to be. That was a twist, honestly. That was the biggest character development in this whole fucking movie. He was like, "Hey, Witcher, since you're supposed to be a fucking Witcher and you don't know how to hunt monsters, you go hunt down and investigate who killed our guys, and then we'll decide whether we want to go to war or not." Witcher said, "Fuck it, we ball," right?
Mm,
Like, whatever. And so Witcher leaves with his bard, do his thing. It's like da 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 da. He goes off the minute he fucking leaves and goes in the camps for the first night. He gets attacked by one of those fishmen people. like weird fish things, which I would think of them as a subclass underneath the actual sirens. Like the sirens are the higher class of mermaid, and these dudes are like just the warrior class, like, whatever. He
Hmm.
gets attacked by one of them. He is about to kill it, and he doesn't. He ends up letting it go. And obviously the chick who he met, who's his bard's friend, was like, "Why'd you let him go?" And he's like, "Because he lead us to the place." Blah blah blah. They end up going, finding out where they come from, and then he's just like, "Oh, these people couldn't have hurt anybody." Like they learn some information that's no, these people can't hurt anybody. Then we get a bunch of lovey-dovey chick flick moments with the prince and the princess meeting together on the shoreline talking. She's kind of a bitch, honestly. Like she's like my mom told me to stay away from you and he's cheeks like why are you arguing with me like that? I'm trying to get some scales. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't understand what's going on. And he's like, "Well, I love you. We'll figure it out. This and that." She's like, well, "I'm gonna figure out a way so I can I can come to the be with you instead. And he's like, or no, sorry. She essentially is like, "We need to figure out a way to be together." And he's like, "Well, then you could become a human and come be with me." And she's like, "Why the fuck I gotta become a human? Like, why do I have to give myself over this and that?" They get in an argument, so on and so forth. Witcher ends up going back. He's coming back to the fish kingdom, and he ends up getting jumped by all those fishmen. And then the dickhead Kingsguard guy shows up, starts fighting him. A giant little skirmish breaks out, and he tells the Witcher tells him like, "Yo, you need to leave, or people are gonna die. Like y'all, like a lot of people are gonna die if you don't leave." Dude ends up leaving. The Witcher tries to go back to the kingdom and tell the king like, "Hey, like these people didn't attack you. Like none of these people attacked you. It was impossible. It'd be impossible for them to destroy a ship like that. That doesn't make sense." And the king's like, "Nah, fuck it. We ball. We're going to war." Dropping bombs. And he was like, "That's dumb. Don't go to war." Blah blah blah. And then we get finally to the Siren Kingdom, and the Little Mermaid is talking to her auntie, her evil ass auntie, and is like, "I need to figure out a way where I can be with my man and this and that because he's trying to clap. I ain't got nothing to clap, and this and that." And she's like, "Let me give you this potion." Disney need to fucking trademark this fucking movie. But she's like, "Let me give you this potion. And when you take this potion, you'll be able to walk with him. You'll be able to do this, do that." But I'm like, fucking Ursula from The Little Mermaid.
Hmm.
Got it. And then she breaks out in song, just like Ursula does in The Little Mermaid when she gives her that fucking potion. And I'm like, the first song we get in here. And don't get me wrong, in The Witcher, the bard sings a lot. That's part of The Witcher is bar like tavern singing.
Hmm.
Like that's just kind of how those shows go. But that's like cued. That's queued up. We're ready for it. We know that's coming. This is a literal Disney breakout into song
Yeah,
moment.
and she broke
Like
out in the song. It wasn't the same as they were like
in
actually
a
about to start
tavern.
singing for a
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, like at the King's dance when they were there and they started doing the playing the songs together like that.
Hmm.
We get that part of a fantasy world, but this is a Disney breakout into like "You'll be fine." My wife was just appalled because she loves The Little Mermaid. She's
Hmm.
like, "Wow, they couldn't have done something else. They had to steal my show." And I'm like, "I don't know what to tell you." And it's funny because when we were watching it, she was giving her the potion. I was like, "Damn, this like the little," and my wife's like, "The Little Mermaid, right?" And I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." Like, and we kind of like let it go. She broke out in the song. We were like, "No." I was like, "No, no, 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 no. I'm
Okay,
done."
enough with the Disney references.
Yeah,
Let it go.
yeah,
All right,
yeah,
Elsa.
yeah. Like, fuck. And then she gives her the potion. She doesn't take the potion yet. She just takes it, and I'm like, "What's she going to have to give up her voice?" Like, makes sense, right? And um, they end up they end up getting to the part where the kingdom, the Siren Kingdom and the human kingdom are like, "We're going to fucking war. Like it's inevitable. We're going to war." The Witcher trying to stop this war from happening. And we get down to the part, obviously there's a lot of talking, intermingling, there's a lot of prep war. The prince and the princess get into a massive argument, and she ends up leaving, which is hilarious because she's like, "My mom always told me not to be with people like you." Obviously, she was right, and he was like, "Then we shouldn't be together." And then she cried and ran away like that. What the fuck? Like, all right, you crossed the line. He just met you there. I don't understand. Anyways, but they get into a massive argument, and then the war finally breaks out. And then when the war finally breaks out, obviously the Witcher is fighting both people. He's like trying to tell people to stop, and the Sirens are fighting the humans. Humans fighting the Sirens. The Fishmen are doing doing their damn thing. And then we get to a point where the fucking Auntie comes out in giant squid form. I'm like, bro.
don't forget the fact that the auntie, because I'm pretty sure they did it, and maybe not the original. I think it maybe was even the original Little Mermaid, where the auntie was pretending to be a human.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
bad.
I'm
I
pretty sure
completely.
the
Yeah,
original the one did that
yeah.
too.
So the auntie, the princess who was coming to marry the prince, the human princess, was actually the evil auntie siren in disguise, which is exactly what they did in the Little Mermaid.
Hmm.
Like to marry the prince to get so the prince would forget about Ariel, the Little Mermaid, and they ended up finding that out, and they tried to fight her, and she ended up dodging out, and she ducked out. The war started, and end up the king. We end up finding out. Obviously, the king was involved. The
Hmm.
king was involved on the attack on his men. He wanted the war to happen because guess what? Ursula wanted to take the throne from King Trident. Fucking shocker.
Hmm.
And when the war breaks out, she turns into a giant fucking squid, just like fucking Ursula does, and starts devouring motherfuckers, beating motherfuckers up. Obviously, the Witcher handles his business, right? We ain't got to talk too much about that. The Witcher is the Witcher. He handles his business. And the boy, the prince, ends up saving his girl. Um, and by the end of it, obviously, we find out the king is the one that set this all shit up. Everybody finds that out, even all the soldiers and stuff like that. So the war finally dies down. They kind of go their separate ways, and then we get the wedding at the end of it. And instead of her taking the potion, which I'm like first of all, yo, evil ass auntie gave you this. Why would you even attempt to drink it? I don't care if the war is over. I'm not
It
drinking this
clearly
shit.
worked though. Like the auntie
I
had
mean,
to drink it herself.
obviously it works, but like Ursula herself, like that auntie mixes potions. Like she could have put like the Ursula did that to herself in the Little Mermaid. She was perfectly fine, but the one she gave Ariel was the one that took her voice. It's
Yeah,
the same shit and it works, but it just has a curse attached to it. So why wouldn't you think this one had a curse?
I thought something was gonna happen too, but
Right. I'm like, I
it
thought
didn't.
this nigga was gonna take it and then his eyes were gonna start bleeding.
Or he just immediately dies. I'm like, oh,
Like the end. Like,
okay, I like it.
but instead, obviously, because they gotta like, because it's the new age of cinema, the man has to make the sacrifice, and he drinks the potion. Which, first of all, that king need to be in jail. The king just didn't. He got no repercussions.
Yeah, I was
Zero
wondering, is like, is he
zero
gonna be in
repercussions.
jail? Is they gonna
No,
behead him? Nothing. We didn't.
zero
I
repercussions.
got my
Yep.
people killed.
Yeah. No,
What
I set
else?
up a proxy war, like nothing, just zero repercussions. Well, the wedding is about to happen. They go down to the water so they can get, and then the motherfucker just slams back that evil ass potion. And the
Mm.
king's like, "What the fuck? What are you doing? No!" And he turns into a lovely mermaid, and they fucking swim off. And the
Mm.
Witcher's like, "Give me my money, nigga. Like I'm out. Like I'm fucking
Did his
leaving."
job.
And then the bard's like, "As long as we don't run into that bitch ass Jennifer, here, like, like I don't give a shit." And then the movie ends.
Mm.
Now, I understand I just went through the synopsis. Here are my thoughts.
Go ahead.
One, fucking Little Mermaid. Are we serious? Like there comes to a point where we understand tropes, right? We see tropes in anime, we see tropes in everything, right? Like I mean, cool. But
Yeah.
this was so
That's not a
blatantly
it's not a
obvious.
trope when it's word for
It's
word, bar
copy
for
paste.
bar, like
Yeah,
plot and everything. It's not a trope.
that's
It's it's a
this was
reimagination. I like that better.
this is if the Little Mermaid met the Witcher.
It
Literally,
literally
literally.
is.
Literally the Little Mermaid X Witcher. Like
Hmm.
there's bar for bar, like you said, word for word. So that fucking pissed me off because one, the Sirens of the Deep is a canon storyline, but it does not go that way. That's not how the storyline goes. So it is a canon storyline in the video game, but it's not done the way that is.
How is
So
it? What's the plot and
um
how did that end?
so essentially it does have the whole war and everything. Sirens.
Mm.
The Witcher is more on the side of the humans because, and which I'm gonna get into the way Gerald acted in this movie in a second, which is kind of me dive like I'm segueing into that. He's more on the side of the humans, but not in the sense of like their corruption. more in the sense like he needs to save townspeople, and townspeople are going to get hurt by these sirens, so he needs to kill them instead. I don't remember the entire plot. I haven't played the game in a long time, but essentially, like the prince is in love with the princess, but I think he has to kill her. Like he kills her, or something like that. It's something weird happening because she goes like
Mm.
bad or something like that. I forgot. I don't want to like say it and like take my take what I say for a grain of salt, right? But I
You
haven't
already
played the
know.
story
I'm gonna
though.
clip it. I'm
Hmm.
gonna clip it, throw it up, and get a
Yeah,
1,000 views off of it.
yeah.
Love it.
Hey, don't. Yeah, people are gonna be hate fucking me in the comments, but but it doesn't go that way. And so, and I looked it up because I remembered Sirens, and I was like, is it canon? I can't remember. And then I read over a little bit about what it was about, but it
Mm.
doesn't happen. So bar for bar, they stole that shit. Animation was trash. Like
Mm.
I was expecting. So there's another Witcher animated movie out, and it's about when Gerald's a younger kid. I was expecting the Vox Machina, the Dota Dragon's Blood, like the adult animation style that's not anime. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like there's anime art style and then there's just animation art style. And I was expecting that animation art style. They tried to take an anime art style and throw it into The Witcher after what they just did with that last movie they dropped, and it
Mm.
did not fucking work. It didn't work for me.
No.
Now,
Okay.
the fighting with the animation was decent because, and I swear to God, I think it bar for bar, Gerald did some moves in there that looked exactly like Trevor Belmont's from fucking Castlevania. I'm not even kidding. And I've seen, and you know me, I've seen Castlevania 100 fucking times. And
Inspired by Trevor
mm,
Belmont.
yeah,
Who's inspired?
oh yeah, yeah, totally. But like, I even texted you that. I think I was like, oh damn, they got, and they fought. I mean, The Witcher was doing his thing. He was a little more acrobatic than, but hey, whatever. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, cool. It's an anime. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, we're not going to see Henry Cavill doing a 360 fucking flip in the air. Doing crazy and crap tiger hit. Get it,
Yeah.
right? But the fighting wasn't too bad. Obviously, I told you the plot was ass. The animation to me was ass. This to me was a giant rushed money grab. I
Mm.
think this was a giant because they had a golden egg with Henry Cavill, right? They also said that they were going to try to obviously replace him with Liam Hemsworth. They got bullied out of that from the internet, and they are losing money because they had the contracts. Like this is just for me knowing, like I didn't read this specifically, but this is just me knowing how contracts in cinema work and TV series because of a news article I read before that said they are contracted for 4 seasons or 5 seasons or 6 seasons. They were contracted for 5 seasons after season two,
Mm.
right? Which means they spent money on that. And then Henry Cavill said he bought his contract out and said, I'm fucking out because y'all are fucking this shit up. Y'all are fucking this all up. And they said, okay, bye. And then they tried to throw Liam Hemsworth in there. You're going to die. And they're like, never mind. And so right now they're on a cash money grab because they know anything Witcher on Netflix is going to do well. Whether people hate fuck it or not, it doesn't matter. If it gets views, it gets views. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like if it's top 10 in the charts on Netflix for 6 months, nobody's going to say shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you can't say shit. You're going to be rolling around and was a giant fucking money grab. They also got an actor that sound almost like Henry Cavill, but it sounded forced. Like this Witcher's voice, this Geralt voice sounded so forced. It sounded more like Batman than
Mm.
than The Witcher. You know, than Henry Cavill. And I get it, right. It's not Henry Cavill. We always got to move on from actors at some point in certain movies. I get it, but it sounded Batman and forced. Like the ums and fuck were so like like it was just at the wrong time.
Mm.
Like, oh, let's get some ale. Fuck. Like, what? What? What do you? What do you mean? Fuck? Just go get a drink, nigga. Like, like it makes sense to me, you
Mm.
know. But like Henry Cavill's Witcher, for example, like they wrote that storyline well because he'd be fighting one dude, and then like 12 more would just jump behind him, and he'd like fuck, and then he'd fucking get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dialogue and the script was just terrible in my opinion. Like the words were misplaced. It was cringy as hell. The animation was just bad personally. And to me they made the Witcher in this. They made him soft.
Oh, how's
So
that?
so Gerald's character development in The Witcher starts from super bloody and gruesome. I don't give a fuck. I'm in it for coin, and that's it. Like I'll kill whatever I need to kill. I don't care. And then progressively in the game, he does grow a little bit more sympathy, especially with Siri. Yeah, Siri. The blonde haired chick, the his um child of prophecy, something like that. But the child of prophecy that he's given because ended up he ended up saving somebody's life, and they said the next good thing that comes to you will be yours, and it was a child, king and queen, which
Mm.
ended up being Siri, and she ends up taking over the. But um, like it, how do I want to put it? So it, oh, kind of lost my train of thought here. Hmm. You're probably gonna have to cut this out. I lost my train
Oh,
of thought.
I'm cutting it already.
Yeah. Okay. Um.
FYI, while we're still in the middle of I'm cutting it, that's I'm not cutting, but it's still happening where your audio will cut out for a solid 1 second, 2 seconds.
Oh Jesus. I don't know what everything
And
seems to
then
be
also
working.
your camera at some point just stopped work. Like it was working, but it
It
just
was like
like got
glitchy.
yeah real glitchy, and it took like
I
10 seconds
too.
for it to come back.
I
I
saw
just
that.
let it ride because you were still talking.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw that too. But anyways.
Yeah, you're
Um.
telling me about how he's gotten soft. I'm still
Yeah. Yeah.
giving a
Yeah.
review once you're done.
Yeah. 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 I'm almost done. I'm
Mm,
almost
yeah,
done.
there you go.
All right. Uh. He he has progressively gotten softer, but this one was very even softer. Like it took almost the entire movie for him to even kill one fucking monster.
Mm,
Like it's like he was a pacifist this whole fucking movie and just soft. Like he just wanted to prevent a war. And most Witchers, especially him, since we've known him, has never cared. Has never tried to do that shit. He just doesn't give a shit,
mm.
right? And he pulled the girl at the end. He clapped some cheeks at the end with old girl friend or whatever. And like, cool, it is what it is. But
But
like,
he
he also
never eventually gets to the point where he cares more about the why than the
So
killing.
he is like that, but it has to be a very big. And I know you're probably gonna say like, well, is that or a very big why? Not real. Not to him. Not really. If it's
Mm,
not like a child, like he's escorting something, and it's like a literal child, and he doesn't know why, then he figures out like for them to be killed or sacrificed, then he'll be like no. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
But like he in this movie they made him so talkative, like they made him so much more talkative than he usually is. He talked way too much than he usually is supposed to.
really, you feel that way?
He, yeah, they made him soft as hell,
Mm,
and he barely killed any monsters. And I get so him barely killing anything definitely went with the plot because the whole plot was to save. It wasn't really to kill. But
mm,
he ended up killing in the end. Obviously, he had to. People was trying to kill him, but like the plot was already ass. So I'm just gonna stack this on top of it and be like, he barely killed anything. We barely saw him really fight.
mm.
Um, and he ended up losing his serum at the end, and the girl had to throw his serum to him, which I guess can happen, but never really has. Always has more at one point. He never just has one. Like that doesn't make sense. Overall, the show was like a five
Five. Wow.
because it was mid at best. To me this was a very like it's obvious when we do talk about Attack on Titan, doing like three movies back to like every 6 months, and then even though they did those three movies, now they're gonna do another like with all them combined just to get money. Like we talk about that, we see that, we understand that okay, that's probably a money grab, but it's still gonna be good because it's Attack on Titan. We know the
Mm,
going to be good. Like this was such a blatant example of copy paste money grabbing I've ever seen because they're probably losing. They don't have an actor for the live action series. Live action will probably never come back.
mm,
And they made that last animated. They made the last animated movie came out before season three of The Witcher dropped, and that made a lot of money because that was great, great fucking movie. That
mm.
animated Witcher movie was fantastic, just bloody, violent, dark, ominous, like with the adult animation style. And then they just dropped this out of nowhere, like random. I mean, they did some advertising. It was like, I mean, because they're probably losing money, and they're like, shit, like what the fuck are we gonna do? and this was the biggest blatant money grab, and it was disappointing, and it was mid at best.
Oh,
But I'm used to being disappointed by my favorite pop cultures getting animated. So because there's another movie that we'll talk about some other, but that was also mid at best. So,
this is
but
harsh,
I know
bro.
I know you watched it too.
This
So
is
I
harsh.
want. Mm-hmm.
We watched it around the same time. Like I will say
Yeah,
with either the same day or within days of each other.
it was the same day. Yeah,
Man, these criticisms, like you were critiquing the hell out of this show.
I'm
I
a big
think,
Witcher fan, man.
and that's the point I'm actually about to make. I think we have a great opportunity where you are a huge fan of this piece of work, and I
Universe. Yeah.
barely know anything about it. Like
Hmm.
I've seen The Witcher live action. I think I've watched 2 seasons of it. I did
Yeah.
not watch the third season. I'm pretty sure I didn't even finish the second season. I
Yeah.
didn't even know about any of these other animated Witchers. I've never heard anything of it. First time I've heard of one coming out
Yeah.
was this one. So when you're saying the last one was more advertised than this one, I'm like, really? Because I never heard anything about it.
Yeah.
First time I've heard about an animated Witcher was this one. I'm pretty sure you're the one who mentioned it in the show. Um,
This is a rare opportunity to have two sets of eyes looking at something like a super fan and a
I mean,
like don't really know much about it fan.
Mobile Suit Gundam, we did it for that one too.
Yeah.
With the live action. So
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
same
That's true.
situation, coming in as a fresh virgin when it comes to The Witcher.
You ain't no virgin.
I mean, I stuck the tip in a couple of times, but I'm a virgin.
Yeah.
I'm a butt virgin. But anyway, moving forward.
I'm
Um,
clipping that. Clipping that.
I
Short.
thankfully I do the edits. Thankfully, I enjoyed it. I don't know where this harsh criticism is coming from.
I mean, you know where it's coming from.
Well, I know where it's coming from. I feel well. I think one of the places it's coming from is the whole Little Mermaid thing, and how you felt in the past about what they changes they've done with Little Mermaid, and then just to see
I mean,
them do it again, but
no, I've
ruining your
explained.
own piece of work. Like
Don't do that.
it's all a
I've
combination.
explained. I've explained with the live action Little Mermaid that yes, I would have preferred that they just kept it OG,
Yeah,
kept it
yeah.
100, but I still watched it and it was still an enjoyable movie. Like it
Yeah,
is what it.
of course. No,
So,
I'm not saying it was
but
bad. I'm saying the fact that it was changed, you would have preferred the changes not
yeah,
happen. That was the one thing that your gripe you had about it. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
them doing it again with the same thing for something that you know and love.
I'm just an underground Little Mermaid fan, and we're just finding out about this.
I love Little Mermaid too. So just for my quick review,
Ariel's a baddie.
I'm not going to rehash everything. I love redheads. I'm saying it here, folks. I love redheads. Like, how could you not? But just coming in, I remember I specifically text you this. I'm looking at this as if this is the Little Mermaid, but it is a version of the world where the Witcher, like you said, had to step in. This is a mature version of that story where the Witcher had wrapping my mind around that. I'm easily able to jump into it. Like
I
the
didn't see
whole love
Colin.
story, accept it. That's how Little Mermaid went. The whole My King, the Human King versus the they didn't really talk about the Human King much in the actual Little Mermaid story, but the Human King
Yeah, they
versus
didn't want
the
war.
Mermaid King, like that,
Yeah,
the war thing was like a underlying thing, but it wasn't a huge major part. Obviously, this is a more mature story. We made this the center focus. My gripes come with the her Ursula thing, her turning into
hmm
the huge. That wasn't necessary. That was just blatant. We are ripping this from the
obvious,
Little Mermaid.
obvious.
I enjoyed the whole her getting mad at him because I agree. When she went into her little monologue about how she's given up everything in order to be with him, and he's just like, oh, just give up more. You just become human and everything will be fine. Just give up your whole life. And then afterwards, come to find out that the humans were the bad guy in this situation, and
Yep.
him like, you know what? I'm taking that medicine because I know what you really want from me. You don't care about me. You don't care about
Yeah.
this kingdom. You care about keeping your power and for me to give you a grandchild so that they can be continue to keep our power in this kingdom.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna become a fish. Problem solved. And also I think I'm pretty sure you didn't mention it, but he had like the half brother where Well, the guy was like the main knight
Yeah,
was actually
yeah,
his half brother. So he made a
yeah,
comment.
yeah.
He's like, "You let him
And
die."
I forgot to mention, he saved the Witcher's life too. He had
Fact.
redemption.
Patriotic as shit. And that was his
Yeah,
problem. Like I think I love that part about him. Like he was an asshole. But he was an
yep,
asshole because he was patriotic as fuck. And he's
yeah.
like,
Yep.
bro, do your fucking job. You
These
like you
colors don't
said,
run.
you
USA.
haven't killed anything. We asked you to kill
Yeah,
something. We're in danger. You're not doing your job. So when it came to find out, like, oh, he's not an asshole. He's just patriotic. I love that for him. Like that was
yeah,
a great bit of character development.
really, absolutely.
And then the decision is like, hey, I'm just going to become a merman. You already fucked over my half brother, so we mean nothing to you. You just want
Yeah,
a grandchild. I'm here for
yeah.
that as well.
And you get no repercussions, but
No
whatever.
repercussions is fucking insane. I'm
Yeah.
hoping at least by the end of the story he ends up in a jail cell somewhere, but
My wife was
most
like,
likely.
"He the king. What they gonna do to him?" And I was like, "What you mean? I've seen. You know
What?
how many kings' heads I've seen roll?
What? They
Like
kill these motherfuckers like it's nothing.
Game of
Um,
Thrones."
Now speaking on Jer, like again, the Little Mermaid plot. I'm not going to rehash that. Like I
Yeah, yeah.
enjoyed what it was. I accepted that this is Little.
You
I
compartmentalized.
had said this is. I literally said this is Little Mermaid meets Witcher. Fine, we're going to deal with that. Witcher, because you made the comment about how Witcher seemed different for you. Again, I'm not a Witcher know-it-all. I don't
Yeah.
know his backstory and how he progresses.
Mm,
I felt like this version was a more matured version of him from what I've seen. It was him using logic and not saying, I'm not just going to kill things because that's what you expect from me. Because it was legit. These people just expected him to kill
that's his
because they point
fucking
in the direction.
job.
But
That's
me, I'm like,
listen, David,
no,
David,
you
David.
need to be, what is it? With great
That's
power comes great responsibility. And he was
fuck
showing
that.
that.
That's his job. And even his bard was like, "Nigga, we broke. Go kill a monster. Holy fuck, we can't afford
And they were
bread
riding him for that
and
because like
water."
that's your job. You kill people, that's what you get
Yes,
paid for, and
they
you're
were
not
right.
doing that job.
I'm not
This
when
is
I
a
talk
more
about The
mature
Witcher,
Witcher.
when I talk about The Witcher, I don't talk morality. If
Mm,
you and me were monster hunters, we could do our own, we could set our own morals, right? We
mm.
could say whatever we want. This is Geralt, the best, the greatest, one of hand like arguably one of the best and most skilled witchers on the planet.
Maybe
His
this is something I
job.
need to understand. My question for you:
Mm,
The
Go
Witcher,
ahead.
because again, I don't
Yes.
fully understand The
Yes.
Witcher. What is the Witcher's job? I'm not going to ask a broad question because I'm going to get a long answer. Is his job to keep the peace between the human and the demons, the
No.
monsters, or is his job
No.
just to slay
His job.
monsters?
Witchers were invented by witches to
Hmm.
kill monsters, to be
That is it.
superhuman soldiers to kill monsters. It
Not to
does not
be
matter.
the avatar. The
They are mercenaries
mm,
hired by villages to kill monsters. That
okay.
is their job.
Well,
There's no
looking
there's
at it from that
no if and
perspective,
or above. There's nothing above that, nothing below that. We get to fuck shit up. That's it.
from
That
that
is it.
perspective, then fine. He didn't do his job.
But
I
I
thought
already
he was
told
more
you
like
that
an
in the games
avatar
he
with
does
keeping
mature.
balance. Well, yeah, of course. Obviously, you need to mature. We
Yeah.
can't just kill everybody all the damn time. Even Goku realizes some fights we need to focus on while other ones aren't important. I was under the impression though he was more like an avatar, keeping a balance between the
No.
spirit realm and
I'll
the
pay for it.
humans. And
Yeah.
again, because it wouldn't a witch be considered a monster too in this world? So if he was created
It,
by a
it
witch,
wasn't like it wasn't witches per se. It was just like people that had magic.
mm,
So like yes, witches are more citizens in the world than any other monster.
okay,
So like witches are actually so think about it like not Ubel Blatt a ranger not what is it Red Ranger to Another World, the
mm,
anime we're watching, right? How witches are mages are the king's right hands, they're their advisors.
yeah,
That's how it is in the Witcher world.
yeah,
There's a coven, there's a giant coven, and witches get made not made but they get trained. If you don't make it you die, and then they get sent out to kingdoms to be the advisors for kings, and then that's how they secretly run the world. They're like a secret organization. They're like
mm,
the witch, and witches or witchcraft or magic was what the scientists use, part of it,
mm.
what the scientists use to create witchers from little children. They kidnap little children or orphan children.
Oh wow,
Yeah, and I'll make this really quick, but like they kidnap orphan children, or they just kidnap children in general, kids without a home, and then they fed them the serum. The
Mm.
serum literally would make you die and revive you, die, revive. Like it was the most painful process you can ever think of. And if you made it, you made it. If you didn't, you didn't.
Mm.
Like, sorry. And that's how they are super strong, and they can take the serum again or another black eyes and
Mm.
things like that. But they were invented in the specific reason to just hunt monsters because regular humans could not. And
To
that's why they have a
protect
necklace.
humans.
Yeah, that's why the necklace like vibrates every time a monster's nearby.
Mm.
Like they are specifically designed to kill. That's why Gerald's hunted. In like the games, he's hunted by other witches because he gets like morality. And they're just like, you're not a fucking witcher. You're not doing your job.
Okay.
Like,
All right. So you have rhyme or reason to hate on this version of The Witcher.
you know,
I'm
I love
willing to
Gerald.
concede.
This
I
one's
thought this
terrible.
was just a good look for him, but it just shows that Gerald's not doing his job the way he should. So it's actually a bad look for Gerald. I'm with
He's
you.
killed monsters for less. And then this one is like some random fucking sirens told you he's not eating anybody. So he's like, oh, okay, let me go tell them.
Yeah, that
Huh?
seems a bit silly. When your
He's
job is literally to kill them, not to mend relationships. I thought that was his job, to mend
no.
relationships to avoid a war. Now throw all that out the window because your job was just to kill the monsters. You saw monsters, kill the monsters. But
Yeah, because some random other monsters told you that they didn't eat anybody. You didn't see that. They could just be lying to you. That could be their pet. You don't
mm.
fucking know. He's just like, oh, okay, let me just go tell them. Let me tell them that they're not killing anybody.
But you will see why I would be under that impression now. Because why are you even having a conversation with the monster then?
Yeah.
Because if your job is literally to kill them, there would be no point even having a
So,
conversation.
so, and even in the games, like I've seen, like even in the games and even in the live action show, if he knows for a fact, I mean, 100% fact that they aren't the monster isn't harming anybody or fucking with anybody, he'll either relocate it. Hell, even sometimes he'll kill it. But like most of the time, he just relocates it or captures it, whatever he does, right?
Mm.
But like in this one specifically, he didn't know shit. He was hired by villagers who had no he had no inkling they were corrupt. He didn't know. He had no idea they were just normal. And they hired him to kill a monster.
Mm.
And then so like the sirens, for example, they're monsters, but they're a civilization. So they're not technically monsters because they have their own kingdom, they have their own laws, rules. They are a just in it. So yeah, you can talk to them and he's not supposed to kill them, but
Mm.
like you just gonna trust some random fucking mermaids that tell you this monster's not killing anything? Like it doesn't make sense.
Mm.
Like you saw this monster.
The sirens aren't monsters, just what you're saying?
They're obviously a creature. They are
Yeah.
creatures, but because they have their own civilization, like
Mm.
they're not just rampaging squid monsters in the deep of
Yeah.
a lake or something. It's not, it's not the fucking chupacabra. Like they have their own civilization. He knows about them. He's a very well-traveled man. He's not
Mm.
just going to kill random sirens because he knows they're citizens of another kingdom.
Mm.
So, but I'm saying like they're still creatures though, and in the human world, they're still considered second-class citizens.
Yeah.
And why would you just trust their word
Just
that
racist.
it is racist as hell?
Racist ass Witcher. Who the fuck you think you talk to, merman?
Mer nigga.
Nigga's insane. Okay,
The mer Negroes told me their pet didn't kill nobody.
sometimes the extra context isn't beneficial to the story because again, fresh virgin eyes. I actually thought this story was pretty decent if we accept that it's a Witcher meets the Little Mermaid, but now looking with more context in. Thanks for ruining the show for me. Um,
I'm just saying,
I'm
like,
still giving it a 7 out of 10 though. I would
so
have given it more because I thought his job was to keep the peace, but now 7.
if I can look at it, because I'm good at compartmentalizing, if I just enjoy something for what it is, and even looking at this for what it is, if I try to forget about all my Witcher knowledge,
Mm,
um, I would say, oh, this was okay. Like, it was pretty good. I
yeah.
would just be like, something I just watched and move the fuck on. So that
Mm,
means, especially since I know exactly about this universe, and I'm not like the best known Witcher guy on the planet. I haven't played all the like knowing what I know and what Witchers are supposed to be and how Gerald is supposed to act. His morality went from like like I'm gonna try to do the right thing sometimes to like I'm always gonna do the right thing. Let me stop this war from this random fucking poor ass piss
Yeah,
poor kingdom
like he
and
refused to kill unnecessarily.
not make any money. I'm not gonna make a single dime. And like I was like, bro, what? And funny enough, and I didn't even tell you, I didn't even say this. This movie, and I know how this is a money grab because this movie directly follows the plot line after the live action.
So after season three, it follows that plot
Yeah.
line. Because at
Like
the end of season
Yennefer,
three, he sleeps with the witch, right?
yeah, well, they were in a relationship and then they ended up splitting ways for
Mm,
specific reasons of her going to run a kingdom, or not a kingdom, but trying to go run the witch coven, and like
mm,
they mention of season three's events in the movie.
mm.
And when the bard's talking about it, he fucking hated that. Damn. Like he fucking was like,
Maybe
as
it's
long as
just
we're
a
not.
prelude. It's just a prelude, but it is a huge difference in his personality from the live action to this. But maybe this is just a prelude for season four. Hopefully, it's not a money grab, and this is just a regain that attention. Like
I,
we understand that we lost our
yeah.
main character, but hey, we still Witcher's still here.
I didn't care because they went off script around season two for
Mm,
like the video game, right? I didn't care that much. Again, I'm not one of those guys to be just like the video game, this, and that, which people were saying, but whatever. But they just portrayed Gerald so well. They
mm,
got his mannerisms down right. They got his acting down right. The world was fighting was great. He was killing left and right. Like he was killing people for less. Like somebody would like, he'd leave a tavern making some money, and somebody a fucking random bum in the street would hold him up with a knife, and he sliced their fucking head off. Like that's Gerald. He
mm.
doesn't care. Like yeah, when a like big morality problem shows its face to him, he will usually choose the semi right way to do
Mm.
things, right? But like he'll kill a bum in the street if they try to put a knife in his, or he'll beat the shit out of them. Like he's like Batman. Like you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like I'm justice.
But in this movie, it
You know,
just seems like he was looking for a reason not to kill.
yeah, he was just like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to kill. I don't want to, like, yeah, how, what, like the first beginning of the war, he was like dodging everything and like blocking people. He wasn't even, I was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Hmm.
Like, they fucked this all up. I'm sorry. Like, from a Witcher fan, they fucked all up. Just all up.
Sorry for all the Witcher fans out there.
Yeah, it was fucking horrible. Like, and it's unfortunate. And maybe I think I'm a little bit more, his fandoms that I know even more also made a mid-ass fucking movie. So,
Hmm.
which we'll get into one of these days. Probably, I don't know, maybe
So
a week or so, 2 weeks, yeah, something like that. But yeah, I mean, what's your? I mean, I know I ruined it for you, but what would you give it
7.
total? Seven? You said seven? Yeah.
Without like the extra context, like
Hmm.
I thought it was a good 8. I wouldn't go as far as 9 or a 10, but a good 8 because
I
I
can.
thought like this is Gerald who he is now, so it's like the perspective of
Yeah,
older, more mature. But taking that away, and
yeah,
this is just a completely different universe of Gerald because this is now what I'm just going to accept and compartmentalize. This is just a different universe. Yeah, it's a good 7. I would say good 6.5, 7. Like I didn't have any
yeah.
qualms
Without the
with the
context, yeah.
animation. Like I thought the animation was decent. Like I prefer a more anime animation, and I didn't
Well,
see the last movie, so I have nothing to
that's what I'm
compare it
saying.
to.
It's because of the animation style they did for the last movie
Mm.
was what I was expecting. It was like the DC, the really nice, like mature DC animation,
Yeah.
and that they had for the last one. And that's
Oh,
what
it was more like DC animation. The last one.
yeah, I mean, it was the adult version. It's like Castlevania. It was like
Okay.
Castlevania, for
Yeah.
example. Yeah, like it had that style of animation,
Mm.
and that's what I love out of these shows that are technically anime, right?
Yeah.
Like that are video games, that are comic books, things like that. I love that style of animation. They do that for Invincible, they Castlevania,
Mm.
so on and so forth. And I get that they promoted this as Witcher anime,
Yeah.
but I figured they were just saying animation, and maybe that's my assuming, but they actually put it in anime animation. You know what I'm saying? And so
I
maybe
heard
that was my
anime,
fault.
and that's why I
Yeah.
came running. And they gave
I
me
mean,
anime. I don't know. I'm happy with
but
what they
even for
gave.
the last movie when they promoted it, and I guess technically they said Witcher animated movie. So
Mm.
like, but I mean, I don't know. But this, I don't know. This was the biggest money grab, copy paste I've seen in a long, like,
Yeah. with the
Oh
time
boy.
period. So it's either a money grab or is their way of trying to get back. But in your opinion, they didn't do a good job at it.
No, I don't think so. I mean, it'll stay top 10 for a little bit, but like you got to have, if you're not bringing a series to Netflix like
Mm.
that, you got to have a really good movie to stay in a top 10 movie
Oh
because
no, it's not
people are
top
just gonna,
10.
people are gonna watch it and it's gonna be like number six and then it's gonna fall off immediately.
Mm.
Like, but if it's a series, you can have a chance of staying in the top 10 for, but it's not. I think when I first watched it, well, no, because the day after, because the first night I watched it was when it, and you have to obviously they have to date their numbers first before they put it in a top 10.
Mm.
It the next day or the day after I looked at it and it was like number seven or number six top 10. But I guarantee you, if I go now,
Oh, guaranteed. I was just thinking about it. Like, guaranteed, if I look right now, that it's not in the top 10. If it
yeah.
is, it's probably number 10.
But that wolf, I forgot exactly what it's called, but it's like White Wolf is the first animated movie that stayed top 10 for a good few months.
White Wolf.
I think that's what it's called. I can't
You said
exactly
it's an
remember.
animated movie.
Yeah, the last one, the last animated movie they did. Um, let's see.
Number one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10.
Oh, Nightmare of the Wolf.
Nightmare of the
Nightmare
Wolf.
of the Wolf.
Yeah, it's not in the
Yeah.
top 10. It's not. It's not even on the list.
What Signs of the Deep?
It's not on the list. It
It's
didn't make the list.
it's not. Yeah, it came out in 2021,
Mm,
and this was about Gerald's fucking mentor
yeah,
when Gerald was a kid. That's when
yeah.
the first animated movie was out.
When you
So
mentioned it, well, now that you even mentioned more, I definitely want to check it out.
yeah,
'Cause I
I
thought this
would.
was chill. It was a chill little thing. It wasn't amazing. It was okay. It was content. We got to put something out.
Yeah, it was a hate review.
You know, you,
So you
you
get
know when we just like when we got just make so like I don't know what we're gonna talk about today. They just make content. They just like, hey,
don't
you like the Little
don't tell them the
Mermaid, right?
secret. Don't tell
you
them the
you like
secret.
Little Mermaid? Hey, come
We
here, come here,
always know weeks in advance what we're going to talk about, guys.
bro. We
Before you,
recorded this in November. What do you mean?
yeah, this is it hasn't even come out yet. What are you talking about? It doesn't make this shit was trash. But anyways, yeah, I had to get that. I'm gonna be honest. For the next, well, for the next two reviews I do, it's probably gonna unless you watch them and then you come in with another view.
Mm.
But like if you watch Lord of the Rings, War for the Rohirrim, you don't know much about Lord of the Rings, and I watched it, but like
It's coming out. It's coming out soon on
on
Max.
Max, yep, yep,
So if it comes out within
yeah.
the next couple weeks, I'm definitely gonna watch it. But you
I
need
have
to
some,
watch the new My Hero Academia. I know. You're not a huge. It's actually a pretty good movie. Check it out. Our ways of checking
yeah.
out stuff. But
Well,
definitely check that one out, and we can review it.
yeah, I had some boys over that are big Lord of the Rings fans and watched it,
Yeah.
and at the end of it, we were just like,
Boo! Boo that man!
boo,
Boo!
boo that man. It is right. There's
uh,
one good scene in that whole
I'm
fucking
not
movie.
gonna
Anyway, I
let
will get to
you
that.
bring me down. I'm gonna watch it with fresh baby
Yep.
eyes.
Yeah, yeah. Watch it with no context, no lore eyes, and then I'm gonna ruin. Okay.
It's my favorite part of
Honestly,
the week.
to be fair, and I know we're not getting into it right now. To be fair, it's nothing story wise. That's why this is.
I'm
Story is
excited
fine.
to find out why you
The
hate the
story is
movie.
fine.
Then,
The story is fine. It's everything else that's bad.
all right,
All
I'll
right.
make my own decisions, and then you let me know
All
how
right.
I should
Cool.
really
All right.
feel.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, guys. This is us just hate screwing our favorite some of your favorite shows. Be sure you check out our previous episode on our mid-season review for this out. Obviously, we got a lot of A. I actually haven't watched past yet. I think I'm gonna do the same thing for our end season,
Mm.
where like I finish them all out at the end, like the last five or last, I guess it'd technically be
Hey,
seven.
don't wait too long. You remember what happened?
Oh,
You waited till the
yeah,
last
yeah,
minute,
yeah.
and then you had to try to catch up with too much.
I mean, I did. I caught up pretty well, but there's a couple I didn't get to like really finish. I just need to start, but I haven't gotten any far, so we'll see if any or go up or down. So we'll see about that. But we appreciate you guys for sticking around. Be sure to check out our video, like I said, leave a like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. We love you. We'll see you in the next one. Deuces.
Peace.